Willie in the backyard.
911, are you reporting the wildland fire?
Yes, there's one across the street from us. It looks like the house is on fire.
But while I have you on the phone, can you tell me how big the fire is?
Right now, it doesn't look too big. The fire here? Do I leave?
If you feel threatened, you can leave, yes.
And the fire's burning very close to my house.
Welcome back. I'm Todd Meyer, Assistant Chief of Operations for the Gig Harbor Fire Department. A couple weeks ago, we had talk about wildland fire mitigation here in Gig Harbor. So today we're going to talk about some additional things concerning wildfire mitigation and how this affects you here in Gig Harbor. Guys make fun of me at the fire department that this may be called what's called a Todd talk, so bear with me. We're going to discuss some things today. We're here on the Cushman Trail located between Olympic Drive and Willachet Drive here in Gig Harbor. One of the things, this is a follow-up video to the one we created 3 weeks ago where we talked about how do we prevent or how do we reduce our risk in Gig Harbor to wildland fires. One of the places that we talked about is going to firewise.org and implementing some of those procedures or some of those mitigating factors. In our previous video, we talked about thinning fuels. The next thing we talked about in our previous one was about access, having good access to your property, having good access not only for you to get in and out, but also for us to get in, whether that's for a wildland emergency or also for a chest pain or someone falling down. Also, your access points can also be used as fire breaks, and we talked about that in the previous video. Last Wednesday, Gig Harbor Fire had an acre fire here that started along State Route 16, and we just brought you out here today to talk a little bit more about the fire that happened last week. The fire is about an acre in size, started along the freeway. The potential of the cause was probably related to transportation. We have throwing burning material from outside of your vehicle. We also have where you'll hear people talk about not to drag chains, and then also keeping your vehicle in good working order. So it was about an acre in size, pretty big response for Gig Harbor Fire. This fire happened in a good spot, meaning that we had fire breaks on two sides of the fire. We have the Cushman Trail, and we also have State Route 16. The other thing that we encompassed is not only what is the fire doing here, but where is the fire going? And we have evidence of where the fire was actually spotting into this commercial area over here. And we found evidence where fallouts and embers were landing in the vegetation, and we had to also take care of that. So this fire last Wednesday was pretty significant for us, even though it was only an acre in size. It affected commerce, it affected transportation, and also we were just at the cusp of evacuating places if the fire got any bigger or was threatening more people. One of the things that we want to talk about is evacuation. We need your help. We need you to partner with us in law enforcement of how to evacuate. One of the things in Pierce County and in Gig Harbor, we don't evacuate very much. California, Eastern Washington, because of the large fires and the large natural disasters that happen, they have more experience doing things. We don't, so we need your help. And one of the things that we want to talk about today is just making you more aware that we may need to evacuate to a safe place here in Gig Harbor. So in Pierce County Department of Emergency Management has a notification system that you can sign up for, and it also explains the different levels of evacuations. And the levels of evacuations that I'm going to cover today are on this pamphlet that is on a door knocker that we may, or law enforcement may, put on your house. So one of the things is, if you look at the evacuation levels that are used here in Pierce County, we have level 1, which is be alert, be notified, have good situational awareness of what's going on. Number 2 is be ready. That means have things packed. That means have the dogs put away. That may be having your livestock taken care of. And then level 3 is leave now. And go over it with your family before the incident happens, so the anxiety level is reduced. So you may have heard that Gig Harbor Fire participates outside of our borders. And one of the things is that our agency assists other agencies, whether it's in Eastern Washington like Spokane, or in Oregon, or down in California. In the past, we have sent resources down to California, whether it's been overhead people that are part of incident management teams, or people on apparatus like fire engines and brush trucks. So one of the things that's the benefit of doing that is being lent out to these other places that are having the emergency right now, is our people gain experience and gain training that we can bring back to Gig Harbor. Participating when we can, we still need to take care of what's going on here in Gig Harbor, but when we can, we participate outside of our borders to assist with the state mobilization and our partnering agencies. And also, to be quite honest with you, when we go out and do these things, it also gives us the opportunity to be introduced and work alongside other agencies. There's a huge benefit when you roll into a scene and you can say, hey Matt, what do you've got? Versus never knowing that person before. And it's kind of interesting. The last time we did our video 3 weeks ago, later that afternoon, I even deployed up to the Olympic National Park to assist on a wildland fire that you may have seen some of the Facebook posts about the East Beach fire. So that knowledge, that experience, that training, we bring all that stuff back to Gig Harbor and try to make this a safer community.